Some cases are about finding the truth. Others are about deciding whether the truth can survive being exposed. This is the reversal. The story follows Mickey Haller, a criminal defense attorney who has built his career defending people the justice system has already judged. Haller believes deeply in due process. He knows the law is not about certainty, but about fairness, even when the truth is uncomfortable. But this case forces him to cross a line he has never crossed before. Years earlier, a man named Jason Jessup was convicted of the brutal murder of a young girl. The evidence at the time seemed solid, and Jessup was sentenced to life in prison. The case was closed. Justice, according to the system, had been served. Until new DNA evidence surfaced, the blood found at the crime scene, once believed to belong to the victim, may not have belonged to her at all. The discovery shakes the foundation of the original verdict and raises the possibility that Jessup may have been wrongfully convicted. The state orders a retrial, and instead of assigning a traditional prosecutor, they make an unusual decision. They ask Mickey Haller to prosecute the case. For Haller, the request is both an opportunity and a trap. He has spent his entire career defending people like Jessup. Now he is being asked to argue the opposite side, to seek a conviction instead of dismantling one. Haller accepts the case, not because he trusts the state, but because he distrusts it. If Jessup is innocent, Haller wants that truth exposed honestly. And if Jessup is guilty, Haller wants to ensure the system does not fail again. To prepare for the retrial, Haller teams up with his half-brother, Harry Bosch, a veteran detective who worked the original investigation. Bosch has always believed Jessup was guilty, but even he admits mistakes were made. Evidence was rushed, pressure was intense, and the desire to close the case may have outweighed the need to get it right. As Haller reopens the case, he begins to see how fragile justice can be. Witnesses have aged, memories have faded, evidence has been mishandled. The DNA evidence that triggered the retrial is far more complicated than the headlines suggested. Jessup, now free on bail, presents himself as a victim of the system. Calm, polite, and controlled, he insists he was framed. The media listens. Public sympathy begins to shift. But Haller senses something off. Jessup does not behave like a man desperate to clear his name. He behaves like a man who expects to win. As the trial approaches, pressure builds from every direction. The victim's family is forced to relive their trauma. The media frames the case as a symbol of justice gone wrong, and the prosecution struggles to rebuild a case weakened by time. Behind the scenes, Bosch revisits old leads, re-examines evidence, and re-interviews witnesses. Slowly, disturbing patterns emerge. Some assumptions were never questioned. Some leads were ignored. And some evidence appears to have been shaped to fit a narrative rather than the facts. Haller finds himself trapped between two terrifying possibilities. If Jessup is innocent, then the system destroyed the wrong man. But if Jessup is guilty, then he has learned how to manipulate justice itself. Inside the courtroom, the trial becomes a battle of narratives. The defense attacks the integrity of the original investigation. Haller is forced to prosecute arguments he once made himself. Every witness adds tension rather than clarity. Then something changes. New information surfaces. A buried detail reframes the entire case. Haller realizes that the crime may not have been a simple act of violence, but a carefully constructed illusion. The closer Haller gets to the truth, the more isolated he becomes. His decision to prosecute alienates former allies. His pursuit of the truth puts him at risk on both sides of the courtroom. When the truth finally emerges, it forces everyone involved to confront a painful reality. Justice is not just about verdicts. It is about timing, about decisions made under pressure, about what happens when the system values closure more than certainty. The reversal is not simply a legal thriller. It is a story about how easily justice can be manipulated, reshaped, and reversed, about how evidence changes meaning over time, and about how the law reveals its deepest flaws when tested. In the end, Mickey Haller learns that winning a case does not always mean serving justice, and that sometimes, even when the truth is uncovered, it arrives too late to undo the damage already done. Because in the courtroom, truth is not just about facts. It is about when those facts are allowed to matter, and once time has passed. Some reversals can never be undone.